Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Gretchen's Vegan Bakery. I am in quite a few Facebook groups, like vegan foodie groups and a lot of cake decorating groups on Facebook, and I have to tell you, one of the most asked questions I'm seeing lately is how can I veganize a box cake? Like, how can I replace the eggs in a box cake? And so I always click and read the comments, and I'm always just like, I cringe when I see the answers because so many people just chime in and they're like, just use flaxseed, just use applesauce, just use banana. Sometimes people say use a can of soda. And I have to tell you, I have tried all of those because one of my missions, a couple years ago actually, was to try to veganize a cake box mix. And like, I know what you're saying, it's already been done with all of those egg replacers that I just listed, right? And yeah, it has been done and it can be done that way, but it's not great. Like, I mean, maybe I'm going to get a lot of flack for this and people are going to say, like, what are you talking about? It's totally great. I use a banana all the time, or I use a can of soda all the time. And in my opinion, it's not great. It doesn't come out that great. And so without, going into a whole debate about whether your version is great or my version is greater, my version is actually greater. So let me just show you how I do it. And I'm telling you, you're going to throw that banana or that applesauce or that can of soda right out the window because I have totally hacked the box cake mix and you're going to love it. So check it out and try it for yourself. Alright, so I'm going to make both chocolate and yellow cake, and be sure you're using Duncan Hines. I'm not being sponsored, but Duncan Hines happens to be the only box cake mix that is 100% vegan. I called the company and they verified that the sugar is not bone char processed and the mono and diglycerides are also veg-derived, not animal. So in addition to the ingredients that they list on the box, which is the water and the vegetable oil, not the eggs of course, you will need, for the chocolate cake, egg replacer, flour, cocoa powder, and baking powder. And I'm adding soy milk for richness in place of what would have been the liquid from the eggs. And I may as well measure for the yellow cake too while I'm here. But as always, the written recipes are at GretchensVeganBakery.com, so just click on through for the printable versions. Now I'm adding in the recommended oil amounts to both cakes. The yellow cake mix also gets some additional flour, baking powder, and the plant-based egg as well. So first to mix the yellow cake, and I'm adding those additional dry ingredients to the box mix and mixing it on low to combine. You could of course just sift everything together first. Then add in the liquids and then mix it just as the box specifies, 30 seconds to blend and then 2 minutes on medium speed. Now I will say the thing that I liked about the final result of these cakes, aside from the fact that they are perfectly as Duncan Hines intended, light and fluffy with perfect integrity for decorating, but because I added some more ingredients to help with the structure that the eggs normally would have provided without increasing the sugar, dare I say, is better than the original box mix. For me, less sweet has been a good thing lately, since most of the time we're adding buttercream and sweet stuff to it anyway. Not to mention, you are going to get a higher yield than what the actual box says you'll get, because we added some additional ingredients. And you'll see that later on after both boxes are baked. Wait till you see how much cake you get out of two 99-cent boxes. Okay, so I'm baking all sorts of sizes here. I wanted cupcakes for sure to show you how awesome these rise, and more importantly, don't sink after you take them out of the oven. And then 3 6-inch layers with this yellow cake mix. So you see what I mean? That's a lot of cake right there. A dozen cupcakes and 3 6-inch layers. Now for the chocolate cake, and this is why I did the yellow cake first. I literally spend my life washing dishes now, and I'm so over it. So if you mix the yellow cake first, you don't have to wash the bowl. That's a little pro bakery tip right there. Okay, so same method, all the dry with the box cake ingredients, and then add the liquids. Now for these, I just decided to do 2 8-inch pans, but as you can see, the addition of all my ingredients gave me 2 more 5-inch layers. So the bake time was almost exactly what the box recommends, but with these weird sized pans that I chose, I had to keep my eye on them. I always go for springy to the touch test, and as you can see, these cupcakes are exactly that. I'm telling you, when I made the box cake with those other hacks like the applesauce, the flax, and the soda, they were not like this at all. You definitely need the added flour to help the structure. Otherwise the cake is too dense and it just doesn't rise properly, and it can be too rubbery and gummy if you use a different egg replacer. So again, I really do recommend the plant-based egg. Plus, I am using that for just about all my baking now, so it's a good purchase if you follow my recipes. So then I took those cupcakes and I stuffed them with strawberry filling and iced them with a quick vegan whipped cream. And I've made chocolate cupcakes too from the box with an equally beautiful rise. Add my recipe of fudge icing for easy, delicious fudge cupcakes. Or turn those layers into your favorite layer cake, like this fudge cake or my most recent caramel chocolate layer cake. So there you have it. There is my vegan box cake hack. It is so close to the way that it was intended to be, the way they made these box cakes, that it totally beats out flax, applesauce, banana, like cans of soda any day. So you do have to add a couple of ingredients to it, which is what I wanted to come back to say, that it's kind of funny when you think about it. It's like, okay, my boyfriend and I were having this conversation when I was explaining to him, like, oh my god, I totally hacked the box cake. Finally, after all of these years of trying all these different things, this is what totally works. And he sat there and was like, okay, so basically you have the box cake and all the ingredients that go into that, but you also need flour, you also need an egg replacer, you also need some additional cocoa powder, you also need some soy milk. He was like, then why not just make a scratch cake? So it is a bit ironic, and that is totally true. It's like, all right, instead of just the box cake and adding water, egg, and oil like you normally would, you are just adding like a little bit more flour, cocoa powder to a chocolate cake, of course. You know, the egg replacer, and so it sort of is becoming more like a scratch cake. So honestly, what he said made a lot of sense. It's like, all right, if you're going to go to all the trouble to put all of those additional ingredients into this box cake, just throw out the box cake and make a scratch cake. So it's pretty funny to me when you think of it that way. But I mean, look, if you guys are baking even just a little bit, I'm sure you have some flour laying around. The cocoa powder is not 100% necessary, but because we're adding more flour to the box cake, it sort of drowns down that cocoa. So I do add a little bit more. It's not 100% like necessary. You could leave that part out and still get away with this and have a really great cake. I added soy milk to mine for richness, but you could totally just add more water. The egg replacer is a must. It works so perfectly in this. And that's really all I had to say about it. I just think it's kind of ironic that I'm like, hey, box cake hack, but you have to add like all these ingredients to it. But it totally works, and I hope you guys will try it. Again, all of the recipe links are below, and I don't know, do with it what you will. It's really pretty awesome. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.